Have you ever felt like there is immense power inside you, waiting to be released? What if I told you that in just 4 seconds you can transform your mind and change your reality? In this video, we will reveal to you a simple but powerful technique that will revolutionize the way you think, alive, and face every challenge. Stay with us, because what you are about to discover could change your life forever. The human mind is a vast universe, a limitless realm that houses incredibly transformative power waiting to be discovered and unleashed. Since time immemorial, philosophers, mystics, and scientists have sought to understand the unexplored potential that lies within human thought. But only recently has science begun to reveal how this power can be harnessed in practical ways. At the core of this discovery is the idea that our mind is both the key and the lock to our own evolution. Every thought, every image, and every emotion is a brick that builds the reality we perceive. And with the right approach, we can unleash that power and change our lives in an instant. The real obstacle to accessing this potential lies in the unconscious mental patterns that we have adopted throughout our lives. Since childhood, our experiences, both positive and negative, shape the way we perceive the world and ourselves. These patterns, which can feel like unbreakable truths, act as invisible barriers that limit our ability to grow and transform. However, the surprising reality is that these limitations are mostly self-imposed illusions. Breaking the spell of these patterns requires an act of courage, observing our thoughts with critical awareness and daring to question their veracity. Technique that will allow you to release this hidden power is as simple as it is powerful. In just 4 seconds, you can initiate a radical change in your mental state. This process, although seemingly simple, has a profound impact on the way the brain processes information and responds to external stimuli. When you take those seconds to interrupt your flow of automatic thoughts and redirect your focus, you create a mental space that opens doors to new possibilities. This translates into a tangible improvement in your emotional well-being and your ability to face life's challenges with a renewed and purposeful mind. Beauty of this practice lies in its accessibility. You don't need years of training or sophisticated tools. All that is required is your willingness to try. In those 4 seconds, you are claiming your right to decide what thoughts you will allow to guide your life. You are sowing a seed of change that, with time and practice, germinates and blossoms into a mindset of power and resilience. This is the beginning of a journey that transforms your perception of reality and connects you with a potential that goes beyond what you ever imagined. A world where you can change your mental and emotional state as quickly as a heartbeat. This idea may seem like something out of a work of science fiction, but it is a reality at your fingertips. The key to this transformation lies in a brief, powerful moment. 4 seconds. In those few moments, you have the power to break negative mental patterns and reprogram your mind to face the present with clarity and confidence. This technique, which has been popularized by personal development experts like Joe Dispenza, demonstrates that a small change in the way we think can trigger a monumental transformation in our lives. The lives formation process begins when, faced with a limiting thought or emotion, you stop and take those 4 seconds to breathe and focus on a positive affirmation or a mental image of your goal. This brief but significant interval breaks the cycle of automatic thoughts and allows your conscious mind to take control. In these moments, you are redirecting your attention from the reaction to the conscious act, which activates regions of the brain that promote calm and focus. It is an empowerment exercise that, when repeated, strengthens the neural networks that support positivity and self-control. Behind this practice is based on neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt through repeated experience. Every time you interrupt a negative thought cycle and choose a more positive response, you are literally reshaping your brain. Neural connections that previously reinforced stress and anxiety weaken, while new pathways associated with calm and empowerment strengthen. This change in brain structure translates into a more resilient mind and a life more aligned with your aspirations. This practice is universal and accessible. It does not require advanced training or a special environment, and anywhere and at any time. This simple and powerful technique reminds you that true transformation doesn't always involve radical external changes, but changes within you. with the way you choose to respond to the world. In those 4 seconds, you're not just reprogramming your mind, you're summoned. He seeds of a whole new reality, many or reality, through life believing that our biggest obstacles are as solid as a stone wall. But what if I told you that those barriers are mostly projections of our minds? The limitations we face, although they seem real, are often a product of our own beliefs and perceptions. These mental illusions are deeply rooted in past experiences, fears and insecure fears that we have accumulated over time. Every thought of "I can't" or "it's too hard" is a brick that contributes to building a wall that only exists in our minds. The reason minds. Barriers feel so unbreakable is because our brains are designed to prioritize familiarity over change. This instinct, which was essential for the survival of our ancestors, manifests itself today as an attachment to known patterns, even when these are negative. When we are faced with a new or challenging situation, our mind tends to relive past experiences and project them into the present, creating a cycle that reinforces the idea that there is no way out. Identifying and dismantling these patterns is the first step to transforming our lives. The real challenge lies in recognizing that these limitations are not facts, but rather stories that we have told ourselves and accepted as truth. Breaking these narratives requires more than simple optimism. It demands an active commitment to honestly observing our thoughts and emotions and asking ourselves, is this really true? Or is this an illusion that I have allowed to grow? This is where the 4 seconds of pause and reflection become an invaluable tool. In that brief moment, you can dismantle the negative narrative and replace it with one that fosters your growth and empowerment. When you empowerment, obstacles as opportunities to challenge your own limits, something changes. Barriers that once seemed insurmountable become stepping stones to a stronger, wiser version of yourself. This shift in perspective not only improves your ability to overcome challenges, it transforms challenges. You see yourself and what you believe is possible. Ultimately, discovering that barriers are illusions gives you the freedom to rewrite your story and build a reality that reflects your true potential. If you believe potential immense power of the mind and are ready to transform your life, leave a comment with "I trust in the power of the universe" and share your energy with this community. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any more content that unlocks your true potential. Together, we will rewrite our reality. Life is full of reality, and many of them come in the form of mental blocks that seem impenetrable. These blocks can arise from many sources: a past failure, criticism from others, or even our own insecurities fueled by years of self-doubt. What we often forget is that behind each blockage lies the opportunity to grow and evolve. Instead of seeing them as insurmountable walls, it is essential to learn to approach them with a mentality that transforms them into springboards towards our personal development. Overcoming our development is not just a matter of wanting it. It requires a conscious approach and a well-thought-out strategy. Well thought out to recognize the presence of the block, to admit its existence without judgment or resistance. This acceptance is essential, since blindly fighting against an internal obstacle only reinforces its power over us. By observing it with attention and curiosity, we begin to disassemble its components and understand what powers it. Is it fear of failure, an inner voice that says you're not enough? Identifying the root allows you to address the problem more effectively. Once the block effectively iced, it is time to put the 4-second technique into practice. In those moments, you can stop and redirect your focus to thoughts that empower rather than limit. A simple statement like, "I can get through this," or a quick visualization of yourself achieving your goal can break the cycle of self-doubt and pessimism. This conscious pause interrupts the automatic stress response that the brain generates when faced with an obstacle and allows you to obstacle a creative and open state of mind where solutions become clearer and more possible. The true art of turn possible into opportunities lies in persistence. It is a skill that is developed with practice and that becomes stronger each time you choose to consciously face a challenge. The more you practice this approach, the more you will see your mind begin to reinterpret blockages as opportunities for learning and advancement. What once seemed like an insurmountable limit becomes a reminder that you have the ability to adapt, learn, and above all, succeed. To learn Hang in perception prepares you to see each obstacle as another step towards your personal and spiritual evolution. For centuries, meditaevolution seen as a spiritual practice exclusive to monks and philosophers, something mysterious and far from the daily lives of ordinary people. However, modern science has begun to unravel the tangible benefits that this practice offers to the human brain and body. Recent studies in neuroscience have shown that regular meditation can physically change the brain, promoting neuronal plasticity and reprogramming thought patterns that previously seemed immutable. The key is to understand how these practices can help you change quickly and deeply. Meditation acts as a switch deeply turns off the brain's survival response, known as fight or flight mode. When we are stressed, activity in the part of the brain called the amygdala intensifies, causing the body to release hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. This is helpful in situations of real danger, but harmful when it becomes a dangerous response to daily challenges. Meditation helps calm the amygdala and activates the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain responsible for rational thinking and conscious decision-making. Furthermore, the decision-making of meditation favors the creation of new neural connections. Every time you meditate and focus on positive thoughts or visualizations of success, you are reinforcing neural circuits that promote calm, resilience, and clear thinking. This process, known as neuroplasticity, is the basis of brain reprogramming. It is as if your mind is a garden, and meditation is the tool you use to cultivate the seeds of thoughts and habits that you want to see flourish in your life. One of the most fascinating dislife.es is that the benefits of meditation can be enhanced when combined with the 4-second technique. Imagine using those moments to enter a brief but intense meditative state, where you connect with an affirmation or visualization that empowers you. This approach not only interrupts the stress cycle, but also reinforces the positive cycle network in your brain, creating a mental space conducive to transformation and growth. By practicing this regularly, you are training your mind to respond to the world with renewed insight and superior emotional control. Few things have as much power, control.ds we speak, and the emotions we feel. What many do not know is that every word that comes out of our mouths and every emotion we harbor has a direct influence on the reality we experience. This phenomenon, explored by both ancient spiritual teachings and modern psychology, reveals that the mind not only reacts to the world, but actively shapes it. Our words world key commands that we send to the universe and our own subconscious, creating patterns that guide our actions and perceptions. The principle is simple. If perceptions lie speak with self-criticism and pessimism, those words act like seeds that take root in your mind, germinating in the form of doubts and limitations. On the other hand, when you express yourself with conviction, gratitude and confidence, you feed an intergratitude that reinforces your ability to overcome challenges and achieve goals. The constant repetition of negative statements, even if they seem harmless, strengthens the neural circuits associated with anxiety and fear. In contrast, positive affirmations and high vibrational emotions, such as joy and hope, activate parts of the brain that promote resilience and well-being. Studies in cognitive psychology well-being science have shown that our emotions are an extension of our thoughts and words. When you feel gratitude or excitement when talking about your achievements and aspirations, your brain releases neurotransmitters like dopamine and endorphins, which not only make you feel good in the moment, but also strengthen positive thinking moments in the long term. This process creates a virtuous cycle where the more you focus on the positive, the more ability you have to attract and manifest what you desire. Therefore, the practice of listening and consciously moderating your language and emotions becomes an essential tool to transform your daily reality. The first step to harnessing this reality, be aware of your words and emotions. The next time you find yourself saying phrases like, I can't, or it's impossible, stop and use those 4 seconds to reframe your thinking. Change I can't to I'll try, or this is a challenge I can overcome. By doing this, are not only modifying a simple thought, but also rewriting the foundations of thoughtception and therefore your reality. Over time, you will see how this small act has a profound impact on your life, aligning your emotions and actions with the version of yourself you wish to manifest. It's easy to read about the power of manifest, positive affirmations, and meditation. But the real challenge is putting that knowledge into daily practice. For many, the gap between knowing and doing is an abyss they never cross. However, those who have managed to transform their lives did so by turning theory into action, until conscious practices became part of actioning. This shift from mere intellectual understanding to the embodiment of knowledge is what Joe Dispenza and other leaders in the field of personal development have emphasized as essential for true transformation. The key to closing that gap is transformation.tension. When you practice the 4-second technique consistently, you realize that every moment is an opportunity to apply what you know. You begin to integrate this knowledge into your daily routine, from the moments you face traffic to difficult conversations or stressful work meetings. Little by little, the conscious act of stopping, breathing, and redirecting your thoughts becomes automatic. You go from being a student of knowledge to becoming a living manifestation of what you have learned. Those who have achieved this state learned a paralleled sense of empowerment. They no longer rely solely on logic or outside advice to navigate life. Instead, they find within themselves a solid core that steadies them in moments of uncertainty. Becoming living knowledge means that when faced with a challenge, your automatic response is not fear or doubt, but rather a calm, grounded confidence in what you know you are capable of achieving. Meditation and affirmation techniques become integrated tools that you use effortlessly, reinforcing your reality and leading you to live a more aligned and fulfilled life. At the end of the day, the true measure of no life is its application. You can read about brain reprogramming techniques and the benefits of affirmations for hours, but if you don't practice them, they will just be ideas in your mind. Authentic transformation occurs when you live what you know, when you turn the 4-second pause into a tool that takes you from automatic reaction to conscious action. At that point, you're not just applying techniques, you are living a truth that transforms and elevates your daily experience. With this approach, knowledge stops being an abstract concept and becomes the force that drives your life.